Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another review on the Flashback Radja Nainggolan. We're going to go through the card, details, stats, clips and summary, as well as the SBC requirements for you guys to get your hands on him. Before we get into all of that, if I could ask you guys to please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below what your thoughts are on this card and if you'll be doing it. And now, let's get into the video. So guys, this is the team that I used Radja Nainggolan in. I played him in that cam spot and in the DM spot in the 4-2-3-1, and overall guys, my first impressions of this card, this brings back some serious flashbacks of how good this card used to be, especially in previous team of the season years. I absolutely love this card. Let's just get into the review. Radja Nainggolan, 5'9", high work rates, right footed, 4 touch skill moves, 3-star, weak foot, 5 games played, 5 goals scored and 2 assists. Now guys, the only thing that I do not like about this card is that weak foot. Unfortunately guys, if it was 1 more star it'd be perfect. Unfortunately it's only 3-star. The 5 goals in 5 games is fantastic guys. He really is actually really good in that cam spot. I actually enjoyed him more in that role than the DM spot. In terms of the chemistry style, because I played him in cam, I wanted him to be quicker, so I gave him the hunter as well, just to help him out in the shooting department too. Well, this leads me into the attribute details guys. The key pros of the card: fantastic passing range guys. Actually his dribbling is so silky smooth and quick. I did not notice that agility being low at all. His aggression, his strength, tackling, all of that stuff really great as well. Heading not so great, but it didn't really matter so much for me. Long shots fantastic as well. In terms of the cons guys, I felt like his finishing was quite poor without the boost to it. I felt like his acceleration and sprint speed do need that helping hand as well. But overall guys, I think everything else is fantastic on this card. And actually when you look at the strength as well guys, there's not so much of a con because he is relatively small, has fantastic balance and aggression as well, so that offsets the strength factor a little bit. So the cons for me, just the speed and the finishing. In terms of his player traits, he's got the long shot taker and the outside of the foot shot trait. So now that we've covered that, let's get into some of the clips that I got with him. Sorry guys, before we get into the clips, we do need to cover the SBC requirements for this Radja Nainggolan. And if we go into the SBC, it costs 277k on the PlayStation, 266 on the Xbox and 322 on the PC. This will come down slightly as well. The 3 squads, relatively inexpensive as well. You've got one here which is expensive, and it's the 87 rated squad with 1 team of the season or informed player and 1 player from Serie. That costs you 208 of the 277k, which is crazy then, because the other 2 squads, an 83 rated squad which only costs you 40k, needing 1 inform or tots player and a Belgian player, and the other one needing an inform and a tots player but only an 82 rated squad again. And because they're informed players, you can get some really cheap players on this. And actually guys, for the kind of card you're getting here, his team is the only thing that really holds him back in terms of linkability, because of course it's in a fantastic league, good nation to link up with other leagues from as well, but his team could be a little stronger. That would allow you to link into some better players. But this is still fantastic value for this SBC, and I don't care about that weak foot either. This is really a great card. And now that we've covered that, we will, as promised, get into some of the clips that I got with him. So guys, getting to some of Radja Nainggolan's clips, and what you guys are going to see is his general ability in that cam and DM spot to be able to dictate the tempo and be a solid member of my team. Now the first thing we'll get into guys is of course his pace. His pace is decent. You do need to boost this though guys, and both his acceleration and sprint speed need equal amounts of boosting. I feel like acceleration of course is more important this year, so that's something I'd look to focus on when trying to help this card with the chemistry style you're going to put on him. The next thing we'll get into is his passing. Now his passing range is really good guys, and that would be expected of this card. I wasn't expecting anything absolutely differently from what I got. I was expecting a good passing range, and that's exactly what I got from this card, which was nice to have in there as well. The next thing we'll get into guys, and this was a real shock for me, is his dribbling. Now his dribbling is really silky smooth, I think guys. Even with that lower agility, he's able to step past people so quickly and get out of the gaps that I needed him to be able to get out of, especially with the right chemistry style. And I feel like as well, given that he had fantastic balance and reactions as well, it wasn't as prominent not having that amount of agility in this kind of player. He was able to move very well for me all throughout the games I played with him. In terms of his general physicality guys, his physicality is tremendous. Now he doesn't have the highest level of strength, but as we mentioned, as we have mentioned earlier, I feel like it's offset by his balance and his aggression. He has great balance and great aggression, so he doesn't need as much strength, and given his size as well, you wouldn't be expecting his strength to be ridiculous. You can of course boost this with the right chemistry style if you need to. However guys, I would say that overall I think his physicality again is tremendous on this card. And if we just get into the final aspect before his shooting, which is his defending, really great as well guys, and he can play anywhere in that midfield that you want him to, down that central spine. He could play in the DM, CM or cam spots. He could even play center forward as well guys. I really do feel like this card is fantastic, but guys, I still would recommend playing him higher up the pitch, just because he can put that pressure on the opposing team and create chances from higher up the pitch as well. Give your opponent less time to react. As we get into his shooting, guys, now shooting is for me pretty decent. I feel like at times he does hit wayward shots, as does any other player, but overall, guys, some of the finishes he put together for me, really nice, getting into the box, finishing well as well. So for me, guys, I really did love having this card like this, and with the Hunter as well, his shooting and pace get even better, so he actually becomes a very good attacker and very good finisher. These final couple of clips, they're almost going to look like carbon copies of each other. Two lovely chips from outside the box, the first one here, and then the second one, more of the same please, gets a little ball in here to Ronaldo, a little 1-2 around the corner, gets in behind and chips the keeper from distance. So guys, getting to this final Radja Nainggolan summary, 277 on the PlayStation, 266 on the Xbox, and 323 on the PC, as we already mentioned. The key pros of this card, guys, the physicality really great, passing range is phenomenal as well, long shots are great as well, and his dribbling is silky smooth, despite the fact he doesn't have the best of agility there. I actually like him at the cam spot, guys, and I actually think that's his best position. I know usually I would recommend you guys play a player like this deeper in midfield, because he's got that defensive capability as well. Guys, he honestly feels so good at cam, and he's so quick up there, especially with the right chemistry style. I'd play him at cam if I was you guys. You can, of course, play him deeper in the midfield. He will be a fantastic box-to-box player. If I was to recommend a chemistry style, now, if you are going to take my advice and play him at cam, the Hunter is the way to go with it. It boosts his finishing, takes his pace and acceleration up as well. He may even make a fantastic striker, guys. You will get that high pressure up front as well. And because he pressures from the front too, guys, it allows you to defend at a higher line, push that line up, and allow you just to press your opponent a little harder as well. And he does some great defensive work in there as well. A number of times he's intercepted the ball high up the pitch, and you get straight on the counter attack with that as well. If you're going to go deeper with this card, guys, then of course I would recommend the Shadow chemistry style, just to make his defending elite and to bring his pace up a level as well. In terms of similar players, guys, he reminds me a lot of Kimmich in terms of how he plays with that size and ability in that midfield. But of course, he is one of them midfielders who really is a bit of a workhorse, and they're able to do a bit of everything. Barella, who has just come out yesterday, is another very similar player, although I do think Nainggolan is a little bit better than that Barella card, of course, but considering that's a free card as well, well worth doing that card, guys. There is a review on that as well. Mateus, another great example of how well this card will do, but Nainggolan's such a complete attacker as well. He really does outstrip a lot of midfielders, either in the attacking sense or in the defending sense. So overall, in terms of completeness of midfielder, you're not going to get many more that are better than this card. In terms of the linkability, guys, like we mentioned before, this is where you really get the only con of this card is, other than that 3-star weak foot, you've of course got Belgian players in Serie A who is very easy to link into, especially Mertens and Lukaku. Strong links also to other players such as Godin, but there's not a lot of links outside of that. You'll have to go with weak links to other Belgian players or Serie A players. Now, whilst that's okay because his league is okay, if you want to hybrid in with strong links and stuff, it's a bit more difficult to do with this card. So that's just something to bear in mind as well, guys. In terms of the price comparison, you see where he sits there. He sits right below Kaká, David Beckham, Thomas Muller's tots card. For me, guys, in terms of how he plays compared to some of these cards, Yuri Tielemans is in there as well, and N'Golo Kante, Fernandez. This card is better than any of these cards here. Houssem Aouar's FUT birthday card, a fantastic card. Nainggolan is better than that card as well in every aspect, guys, in every aspect other than pace. Nainggolan is a fantastic card. He doesn't obviously have the skill moves and the weak foot that some of these cards have, which is going to be a big con for a lot of you guys. For me, it's not so much of an issue. But honestly, guys, if I look up this list and take other players who have similar sort of abilities, that Nainggolan card outstrips them all every single time. He's a fantastic player, which leads me into my final recommendation on this card. Is if you can afford to do this SBC, this is going to be one of the best SBCs of the year for sure. I think even though he has that weak foot issue and the linkability issue, you can overcome that with how good this card is and how much production you'll get out of this card, and you guys will have seen that in the clips as well. So yeah, I recommend do this SBC right now. Hope you guys did enjoy this review. If you did, please do smash that like button. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do also hit that subscribe button, and thank you again, and I will see you all in a bit.